Although this is a very imposing wall, it would be extremely easy to climb partially, and with rock climbing techniques today it's totally climbable. If you look right up here, there's a tree that was growing out of the bricks, and of course this thing is covered with that ivy, and that ivy, it's a form of English ivy. It will destroy this rock. It dissolves it when it grabs and hooks onto it. But this is a very imposing force. Marienburg, which is in Würzburg, is considered a muscular castle. It has a wall that is probably 800 feet up the side of a cliff, which kept anybody from being able to crawl up unseen and give the archers clear shots at them. But this one right here is just an imposing castle, imposing wall. And of course it looks like there's been some restoration work done up here. And there's more of the castle back there. So let's walk on up and see what we see. And for people who don't know how to walk straight, they have a nice beam to make sure you go up the right way. Here's a path down, which if you were to take it while passable, it would be rough. Alright, first look at the castle as we come up. You can see the bars in the window. You can tell that the top of the castle is built on living rock. That's not wall, that's rock. And then the castle sits atop. Hello. This is walking in through the arched column. Of course, they have the chambers for shooting out of. This chamber starts out about 1 meter in width, about 2 meters deep, about 6 feet in height, with these medieval toys in here for demonstration. Right across from me, one of the men was talking to the children about the blocks, and here you can see what an archer would have to shoot out of. Except for the fact that the hole is large on the outside, which would sort of direct arrows to the inside, it's fairly safe. It has, if I can show this, it has a bit of a lip right here, which is probably designed to stop arrows as they come in. And I guess you could recycle them by dragging them out and shoot them back. Disregard the canvas, but this shows you a little bit about the fighting position. Here you have these raised elevations, and right there over that place where they can shoot out, there's a little bit of a wall where someone could stand to shoot. And then of course these walls over here are much, much lower. Here you can see this is sandstone, and how the castle is built into the rock. It's actually pretty cool the way they did this. I sure wish you could get a scope of how big that rock is. That thing is probably 20 by 30 and massively huge. It would make a mess if it broke off. As you can see, the sandstone was laid down in layers. You can see the, well, I don't know if you can see it, but there's different grains in the layers. So it was laid down at once. So here's a layer that's rich with salts. And then we're back into the castle wall again. This may have been a gate at one time. Here's the restaurant where I'm going to stop and take some replenishment. This looks like this. This looks as though this was built as a chimney. It was. Inside there at the back it's about 6 inches. So yeah, this was probably a fire pit. This is the backside wall. We'll find a way up there in a minute. This castle is much, much smaller than what I thought it would be. I'm used to really huge castles. It's probably larger than the Schweinstein, which is the gorgeous castle that the Disney castles were based off of. It does appear that the restaurant is closed, which is a bummer because I had planned to eat lunch here. Not a complete loss. If you'll focus, they open at 12. Alright, if you'll look at that and memorize that. My room dog from Germany would be able to translate all this. And then this tells you what the points are. Got gorgeous flowers growing. That's the one thing about this place. Everywhere you go, they're always going to have absolutely beautiful flowers. We're about to walk up inside. I'm told it cost a couple of euros to get in. I love this metal work. See if I can get it to focus. I love this stonework, the arches and such. With the artificial concrete they're making now, you can have these things ordered and delivered. Here's the stonework on the face. Let's walk around and look at this. Oh, here's a view of the city. Where I'm staying is located out there somewhere. There's some wind turbines way out in the distance. And my church bells. Let's see what's over here and then we will head back. I wonder what this thing was like in its prime. Must have really been something to see. Back this off so you can see it. There are these round shapes, these balls. There's one there. There's one up there. It looks like it's made out of metal, like cannonballs or something was shot at the wall. I'm guessing that this area of the castle is going to be closed off to visitation. It looks like administrative. You can see that one, it has glass windows in it, and B, it looks like there's stuff stored inside there. So we're going to abort this and let's see what we have here. Insert 1 and a nickel. Put your coins in and then crank them through. And you can get these souvenirs. So let's see if I have a 5 and a penny, and we'll put it in and we'll turn it. It says turn 10 times, and then I'll have something for my walking stick. Alright, this is walking back through. Not sure what this was. These have broken off, probably from up here somewhere. When you see iron like this in there, I always wonder if it's more recent vintage or if that's something that dates back to the time of the construction. Discovery. I saw the door from the other side. I didn't realize that it was built like this. It's almost like a cistern. It comes up inside here. There's no real way into it apart from this door. So perhaps it was a place where they kept prisoners and they could throw stuff at them. Very smooth walls, almost like a cistern. Very smooth.
Oh, there's a door.
Hi there. As you can see, these are the behavior rules, and in case you don't speak English, but to be really fair, these should be French, Hungarian, and every other language. But since they have this model of a virus, we know that that's what they're talking about. And that would be called the Myshorona Cyrus virus. All right, here we can see clearly the limestone has been worked. They took this sandstone, they've taken this formation and turned it into a formidable castle. Have these little areas that are used for storage. I do believe this iron predates World War II, just looking at the way it was worked. You can see all this rock right here, which probably fell from over here, I'm guessing, because I don't see, well, there are some walls up there and trees growing. This was a massive undertaking. More iron. A lot of times when you see something like this is where they got their water. This was probably hand dug down, and their water came from here, although I don't know that for a fact. We've got some push buttons over here. I don't know what they do, but they do indicate that you need hearing protection. We have steps that go down. I do not have a flashlight, but there's a good possibility that this goes down into dungeons where we would be able to see our breath. We'll go out here. Oh, back it off. This goes down, so we will follow this down. These steps are very worn. This has a layout of the castle. Who knows exactly how this was used? I've got new glasses, so I am watching my step. Here's the history. Okay, what this says. It's talking about Franz von Sicken, born 2 March 1481, Eberberg, and died 1523. The Sickens ranked among the most important knights of the Palatinate. In the course of centuries, they held high offices at the family of the court Palatinate of the Rhine in Heidelberg. The family attained great wealth influence under Franz von Sicken, the man that we're reading about. One of the most successful mercenary commanders of his time, he stoked up feuds into hither unknown dimensions and ultimately rebelled against the rulers of the realm as the commander of the Free Imperial Knights. At the same time, he was a supporter of the Reformation. Here in his Landstuhl castle, he encountered his final destiny, 1523, which is the date of his death. A coalition of princes besieged the castle and fired at it. In the course of this, Franz, whatever his name is, was killed allegedly in this room, the one I'm standing in. The legend of the libertarian knight who defied the superior strength of the princes lives on to this day. A libertarian prince or knight, what do you know? Here is his castle. There is a good possibility, I'll try to figure this out. Right now I'm not exactly sure where I'm at, but I am of the opinion that I came up here, entered in through the wall, came in around, came around this area. This is no longer here, but this is the way that I came into this area. I don't know if this castle's still here. That area that I told you I thought was administrative is this roundhouse right here. Let's see if there's anything else. The medieval castle. The appearance of the medieval castle can only be divined by investigating the structure of the monuments and analyzing the historical illustrations. Today, only a few remnants of the construction are discernible. They largely disappeared with the reconstruction in the 16th century and the destruction during the 17th century. What remains visible was the high shield wall that was exposed to would-be attackers. Between 1518 and 1523, the fortifications were strengthened by Franz von Sickingen for the artillery battle. So those may have been cannonballs out there. In addition to this, there were two mighty gun turrets in the west and in the east of the castle complex that were connected by a rampart. In the south, the curtain wall was renewed. The large rotunda, which is what I was talking about a second ago, I think is administrative, is particularly impressive, which with a diameter of 26 meters is among the strongest structures of this kind in Germany. Despite its walls, which have a thickness up to 5 meters, which is pretty thick, it did not stand up to the bombardment of 1523, probably because of the mortar had not thoroughly dried out. 5 meters, that's pretty thick. And whatever that is, it's closed. So let's go up the stairs, let's go out on the grass and then go out on the stairs and see what we have going. And that flickering light is kind of a nice touch to this mortar. I mean, this is the ironwork. And I'm thinking that this ironwork predates the war, Second World War, First World War, though that is purely conjecture on my part.